The only way that you lose Ramadan is if you quit. And we don't do quitters over here. Ramadan Mubarak, everybody. Hope you guys are all enjoying this blessed month. It is day 15 of Ramadan. That means we are like kind of halfway done. Again, you never know. Ramadan could be like 31 days, but we are technically at the halfway point. This is gonna be my first video back on YouTube. I kind of already did film a video before. I just never finished editing it and never got around to finishing editing it. So she's just gonna go to the scraps. And this is going to be our proper introduction back into YouTube. This is the kind of the direction that I want to go when it comes to my content. I want to lean more into self-development and just talking, because I love talking. So why not talk to you guys and you guys talk back to me? We are going to basically create a community full of yappers. Love that for us. But yes, it is the midpoint of Ramadan, and the point of this video is kind of to just pick you guys back up. I know at this point is when we are kind of facing burnout. You went really strong in the first couple days of Ramadan, the first week of Ramadan, and now we're kind of starting to just lose sight of what the purpose of Ramadan is. Whether in the first couple of days you made sure you was praying on time, like as soon as that adhan rang, you were already on your salitapi. But now we're pushing it back, or you're not reading as much Quran as you were in the middle, or you're not reading as much Quran as you were in the beginning, or you're not doing as much dhikr as you were in the beginning. Wherever the case may be, wherever it is that you are beginning to slack, it is okay. If you started Ramadan off strong and now you're feeling tired, that's normal. The key is to just not let this be the tone for the rest of your Ramadan. This is actually the point of your Ramadan where you actually want to hone into. You are beginning to notice the things that you are not taking as seriously. Like if you are not reading the Quran as much, then that's the area you probably didn't even know that you needed to work on the most. If you are now not praying on time or not praying at all, first of all, you want to make sure that you're praying, because you want to make sure that you're not just starving yourself for absolutely nothing. So make sure you pray. But if you're not praying on time, then that's probably the area that you want to focus on and you want to make better. For me personally, every other Ramadan, I go into it wanting to do more. Like, I am doing more sunnah prayers. I am doing more dhikr. I am reading a lot more Quran, or whatever the case may be. And then at the end, because I've just burnt myself out for the past 30 days, afterwards, I don't pick up the Quran for the next couple weeks. I'm not doing dhikr anymore. Because you just burnt yourself out and your main priority was doing more, you, instead of building a habit, just did something for 30 days and then just stopped after the 30 days was up. Ramadan is not just for 30 days. Yes, you are fasting for 30 days, but the goal and the purpose of Ramadan is to create a lifestyle that you are going to carry with you after Ramadan, and inshallah forever after. So falling off for a few days doesn't cancel the entire month. We actually have 15 plus more days where you can actually get back on it. And the last 10 days of those 15 days are actually the most important. So please don't make this, don't forget that Laylatul Qadr, which falls in the last 10 days, is literally what sets the tone for your next year until next Ramadan. And that's if you even see next Ramadan. We have to remember that the next Ramadan is not promised to us. Like, some of us may be saying, oh, this Ramadan, like, I'm not really feeling it. I'ma just do better next Ramadan. Who promised you that? Who told you that it was a guarantee that you was going to see the next Ramadan? Treat every Ramadan like it's your last. That's really, like, I feel like the best way for you to really just, like, take it real serious. Like, treat it as if you are literally going to be meeting Allah as soon as these 30 days are going to be done. Do you want to meet him, and when he asks you, so what happened? You be like, oh, my bad. I did not realize that I was gonna, see you this soon. I thought I had time. I thought I was gonna really, pick it back up like next Ramadan. My bad. If the roles were reversed, and relate this to any other scenario, if the roles were reversed, how would you look at yourself? Are you going to take that excuse? Are you going to be like, oh, okay, it's okay. You at least you had the intention of, no. So if you are feeling this burnout, it is not too late. Remember that consistency is way better than intensity. Ask yourself these questions. Are you tired physically or spiritually? If you're tired physically, then you might want to change up your daily routine so that you are not feeling super duper tired by the end of it. Whether that is going to bed a little bit earlier because you gotta wake up for tahajjud, or you gotta wake up for suhoor, and you gotta wake up to pray fajr. So maybe don't go to sleep at 2 o'clock in the morning because you gotta be up in the next 2-3 hours. If you're tired spiritually, maybe figure out ways where you can romanticize your Ramadan. For me, I like to light up a candle in the morning for Fajr, and when I'm praying Tahajjud, and I like to light up a candle when I'm praying Isha and praying my Tarawih. That just, I don't know, the candle just makes me feel good about myself. Like, it's just something about the essence, the vibe, that just really puts you in the mood to want to, be on your deen. Or for others, it may be because you are praying, but you don't know what you're saying. You're reading Quran, but you don't know what you're reading. You're practicing your deen, but you don't know for what reason this, that, and the third, or these rules are put into place. So for some, you might want to do research, learn about Islam, learn about the deed, learn why you are doing what you're doing, and not just doing it for no reason, and not just doing it to do it because you know that you have to fast, so you have to participate in Ramadan, but you don't know the real essence and the real purpose and the real meaning as to why we are doing this. Maybe you're the person that has to do that research. Also, are you comparing yourself? Are you seeing your fellow Muslim brother or sister and seeing how well they are doing in Ramadan and how much they're on their deen, and you're looking at yourself and you're not probably like at that level, or whatever the case may be? That can also cause burnout, and that can also cause slack, because now you have put into your head that you're not capable of doing that when you 100% are. You don't know what that person is doing behind closed doors. You don't know what that person does when they go home. Everybody is at their own pace. Everybody is at their own level. You cannot compare your level 2 to somebody else's level 10. It's just not possible. So go at your own pace. Reflect and look upon yourself and yourself only. Do not compare your journey and your pace and your lifestyle to that of somebody else's, because you don't know what steps that person took to get to that point. You don't know what level that person started to get to that level that they are now. So really just do a lot of self-reflection. Just look inwards, not outwards. Ooh, my back. Trust me when I say you are not the only one who feels this way. You are not the only one. I'm filming this video during my burnout phase. And instead of succumbing to my burnout and, to my tiredness, I am trying to actually figure out why it is I feel this way. What did I do wrong? Did I set unrealistic goals? Yes, I did. I set unrealistic goals. One of my goals this Ramadan was to learn and memorize Surah Al-Baqarah. I did not put into account the actual time that I have in my day to actually sit down and really read, learn, and memorize Surah Al-Baqarah. So what I did was I minimized my goal. I went from learning and memorizing to just learning. I want to be able to open Surah Al-Baqarah and read it from start to finish with no issues. And then after, we can begin looking into memorizing it. Another thing that I've been kind of struggling with this Ramadan is music. I hate to admit how reliant I am on music. And I never realized how reliant I am on music until Ramadan comes around, when you are going out for a walk or just running an errand or getting in an Uber and a song has to be playing in your ear. And then Ramadan time comes around and you cut it all off, and then you resort to nasheeds or podcasts, and it's just not as satisfying to the ear. And I always asked Allah to protect me from the evil of music and to guide me and aid me through my journey of becoming not reliant on music, and inshallah one day cutting music off completely. But I find myself struggling with it because I would subconsciously open the Apple Music app and put on a song and realized I'm not supposed to be doing this. I'm not supposed to be doing this. We're supposed to be fasting our ears as well. We're not just fasting our stomachs. We're supposed to be fasting our ears. We're supposed to be fasting our tongues, our eyes, and everything that comes along with it. But I just always find myself wanting to listen to a jam. And so what I had to do was I had to scare myself into not listening to it. I really did. Like, sometimes you really just gotta scare yourself into not doing something. Like, I had to go, like, coincidentally, TikTok had appeared on my For You page. And in the TikTok, it was like one of those AI generated like photo type things where you like slide and select the photos or whatever. And in that TikTok, it was about this woman and her husband. And the woman all of a sudden just started changing. Like, she started listening to music when she was not listening to music. She would sing in the bathroom. She would do all those things. And she ended up becoming possessed. And her husband had to call people in to, like, I guess, like, remove the jinn that was in her. And it just, like, I'm probably not explaining it to the best of my ability, but it just scared me, because imagine being possessed. Like, I don't want that. I don't want to be possessed. Like, I'm laughing, but it's really not funny. Like, when you actually, like, see it happen to somebody else, because this is, like, you know, fake or whatever. But when you actually see the harm of some of the actions that we do, or some of the behaviors that we do, the behaviors that it's like every day to us and it's like completely normal to us, and you actually see the harm that it can cause on somebody, it makes you want to be like, yeah, nah, I'm straight. I don't want anything to do with that. So if I have to stop listening to music to not be possessed, we can absolutely delete the app. No problem. No problem. Like, I don't want that. I don't want that for myself. No, I don't. So whatever you have to do to stop doing what you're doing that you know is bad, whether you have to scare yourself or whether you just simply have to do research, do it. Do it. Oh, my back. Another thing that I did, and I actually started this like a couple days ago, is I created Islamic courses for myself. Now you may be wondering, Aisha, how did you do that? Well, I went into ChatGPT and I asked ChatGPT to create me college-like courses that'll help me learn about Islam. So I'm actually taking 4 courses. Course 101, Foundations of Islam. Course 201, Stories of the Prophet. Course 301, Women of Islam. And course 401, Quran Deep Dive. Course 101, Foundations of Islam, really dives deep into the core beliefs of Islam. Who is Allah? Why were we created? What is revelation? What does it mean to submit? The origins of Islam. This is where I actually learn about Islam and everything that comes along with it. Course 201, Stories of the Prophet, is pretty self-explanatory. I'll be learning about the prophets and their prophecies and their stories and how they spread their message that they were told to spread. I believe I talked about this book in my last Ramadan video, which was last year when I first got it. But it's the book Stories of the Prophets. I got this book off of TikTok Shop, I believe. It's in English, so it's an easy read. I had started it last year and I didn't finish it and never picked it back up, and so I decided to pick it back up this Ramadan and start all over again. And this book really is just like top tier. Like I said, it's a really easy read. It goes into the stories of majority of the prophets. It doesn't talk about all of them. I believe there's a part 2 of this book where it talks about the prophets that it didn't mention in this book, and I'd have to get my hands on that. But this is definitely a book that I think everybody should look into if you are looking to learn about the stories of the prophets and their life and their journey. Course 301, Women of Islam, is also really self-explanatory as well. It just dives deep into the women of Islam. Like, I think that the women of Islam are very overlooked and not talked about enough, and I think that it is very important that we learn about them, as I believe they also played pivotal roles in Islam. Like, majority of what we know about Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam is through Isha. So why don't you want to know about her? And then course 401, Quran deep dive. Also pretty much self-explanatory. In this course, I would just be basically learning and knowing what I'm reading. I read all these surahs. I know how to read all these surahs. I couldn't tell you a single thing that a surah was telling you. Like, I want to actually know what I'm reading. I want to know the translation. I want to know the historical context behind the surahs. I want to know how I can apply what I'm reading into my personal life. And so within the surah and within this course, not only am I learning about the Quran, but I'm also reflecting on it and just seeing what parts of my life am I living up to Islam and what parts am I not. So yeah. And kind of within course 101 and course 401, I am within those courses, I am also just learning how I personally can embody Islam and live an Islamic lifestyle. I'm learning about myself and my morals and my values, learning about my relationships with people, my relationship with Allah, the life I want to live, all sorts of things. I'm just kind of reflecting and just planning out and reflecting and trying to live a more Islamic lifestyle. Ugh, my back, bruh. Oh my God. Remember, you don't have to fix your whole life in 30 days. These 30 days are just your starting point. The only way that you lose Ramadan is if you quit. And we don't do quitters over here. We are perseverers. I hope this video served as a gentle reminder and a gentle reset for everybody who may be struggling at this point in Ramadan. Remember that we are all in this together. You are not alone in what you're feeling. You have to pick yourself back up. You have to remember why you were doing this, why you started in the first place. And if today hasn't gone as planned, it's okay. Maghrib has not happened yet. We have not reached Maghrib yet. I don't know what time you guys are at or when you guys are watching this, but for me it's 5:16 right now. I still got 50 minutes. Yep. Oh no. I have 48 minutes. It is 48 minutes until Maghrib. So start over before the sun even sets. Pick up the Quran that you probably haven't picked up in a couple days. Do some dhikr. Do something to just bring yourself back into that Ramadan spirit that you were in the very beginning and keep going, because that's enough.